Right, guys, welcome to Pits To Podium. It's a bit of a special episode, this one, because we're interviewing Alexander Sims and Alex Lynn, both of Team Mahindra, or rather, should I say Team Alex. Finally, we're building up to the Monaco E-Prix. We just had a crazy race in Valencia where Alex Lynn got his first podium. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to Pits To Podium for this special episode. My name is Somal Arora, joined by Sundaram, and of course, the two Mahindra Racing drivers in Alexander Lynn and Alex Sims. Guys, firstly, welcome on. And Alex Lynn, that is, mate, congratulations on your first podium. That must have been a bit of a crazy experience, that.
Hey guys, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, it was really cool. I can't deny. I think it was a cool race. We were really competitive all weekend, but certainly in the second race, I think, I think we had strong pace, and maybe should have, could have, would have won the race, but in the end, I was super happy with third place and another podium for Mahindra.
That's great. So maybe we can probably review the season so far. So what's the one reason for this early season momentum that you've had? And have you changed anything with respect to your approach or preparations, or are just things falling into place?
I think from my side, it's just a culmination of a lot of hard work. From my side, I joined the team in Berlin, and I think, what was that, like 8-9 months ago now almost? And from that side, I don't think we've stopped working a day. So from that, Mahindra had big ambitions coming into this season with what we wanted to achieve and how much we wanted to improve. And now we're only at the start of what I believe we can do as a team. There's a long way to go, but I think it's just purely down to hard work. That's why we've got to where we are now.
That's very interesting. It's been a lot of changes that's been going around. Of course, the car's changing quite a fair bit as well. And one very common factor between both of you now, finally, is that both of you have got a podium in the bank. And you've, of course, raced in multiple other championships over the years as well. I'll start with you, Alexander Sims. Oh, wow, it feels odd to say the full name, but that's what we have to do today, unfortunately.
It's fine.
So, but what does it feel like? How tricky is it to get a podium in Formula E in relation to other championships? Of course, it's a lot more closely matched here in this series, at least.
Yeah, I mean, in Formula E, it's such a high level, first of all, and so we've got so many drivers from tops of different disciplines that have sort of come together and be in Formula E, from many different disciplines in motorsport, whether that be endurance racing, sprint racing, single seaters, tin tops, you name it. We pretty much got someone with that experience in Formula E, and the manufacturers, the teams, they're all operating at an incredibly high level. And as you say, there are a reasonable amount of spec parts, and so therefore the opportunities for differences between the teams is reduced compared to, say, Formula One, where you pretty much know the orders of exactly where the cars are going to be before the races start. In Formula E, with that openness of competitiveness between teams, plus the qualifying format promotes the chances where the higher people in the championship qualify further down in the race. To be able to get a nice clean weekend and get good results consistently is incredibly difficult. Mixed in with that, the short amount of preparation time you have at the track. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes of practice time before the races, and mostly on street tracks. It's so challenging to get on top of it and to be doing a better job than the other teams. And so I think it's a real credit to the whole team at Mahindra for the work that we've all put in. Alex obviously joined in Berlin, me only this season, but it's clear that the whole team themselves have got a good understanding and have made some great technical improvements over the off season with ZF to bring a powertrain that's really in the mix, really puts us in a strong position in the race. And yeah, it's nice to go into the race feeling confident that we can move forward.
Your thoughts, Alex? Do you relish that sort of challenge where everyone's more or less on a very equal footing?
Yeah, but I think like Simsy said, it's the caliber of competition is, arguably the highest in the world. No other championship, I think, has the caliber of driver we have. Also, the caliber of manufacturers that compete as a factory level in Formula E. So that being said, to answer your question, yeah, to get even a podium at this level is extremely hard. And then, but we're here for even more than that. So in that sense, it's hard, but we wouldn't be enjoying it if it wasn't. And it wouldn't mean something if it wasn't hard.
That's true.
So like Alexander Sims mentioned, so this is his first season with the team, whereas Alex Lynn has been with the team for a bit longer. So what's your favorite thing about Mahindra Racing, and are there any differences that you probably see from your past teams?
Well, there are certainly differences. Yeah, my previous team in BMW was a bigger corporate company, I guess. And so having come to Mahindra, I've really noticed the ability for the team to be more able to react to changes, react to challenging situations quickly, and find solutions really well with the resources we've got. So I think that's really good. Honestly, there's also another difference in just the physical location of the team. They're 35 minutes away from my house. And so the ability that opens up to just work more whilst not feeling like I'm sacrificing my home life. I've got 3 children and a wife, of course. And so to be able to put more time into my work whilst not becoming a shadow of a father or husband, then it's a very nice feeling to be able to put my heart and soul into it. So that's been good during the off season, particularly to get up to speed with the team, to be able to do lots of work in the simulator before the racing started has meant that actually I've been able to fast track some of that learning. But we're still learning as we go, still improving, still lots of things to work on. But as we saw in Rome and Valencia, the team seems to be working really well together. Everything seems to be going in the right direction.
That's great. Over to you, Alex Lynn. What's your best thing about Mahindra?
I think a little bit similar. My last team was a big corporate team as well. But from that side, I think my most noticeable thing about Mahindra is I think the hard work that everyone puts in. Not that my previous teams didn't, but certainly there's an intensity and a desire to achieve more than we have in this team. And that's really cool to see, because I think that's something really inspiring for me as a driver, but also for everyone else in the team. We really feed off each other. So that's something I like.
No, that's a big plus. And it was evident this time in Valencia as well. Finally, Alex Lynn, that is, getting his first podium. But there was a big confusion. Now, there's energy management turned out to be a big problem after all the drama towards the end of the race. Guys, can you explain exactly what happened for our viewers, and how did just everyone get their calculations wrong at that part?
It's quite a simple calculation in the end, which, to be fair, if you put it very simply, the FIA have the ability to remove nearly to the equivalent of 1% of energy for every 1 minute of safety car or full course yellow. They have that power. But if you're within the last, how many laps was it? 4, 2,
Yes.
3? Then if everyone's only got 4%, 3% of energy, and you remove 3% because you've been under safety car for 3 minutes, well, guess what? You're not going to make it to the end, are you? Because you've taken away the last bit that everyone had. So anyone that had just 1% more and then worked it out quickly that you're going to have to poodle around and not drive quickly at all, you were going to be fine. But I think there was just a lot of confusion, and ultimately it wasn't the best show in the world for everyone to watch, I think.
Yeah, it got a bit confusing. And Alexander Sims, you must have felt a bit of a bad feeling, right? Because the race was going on quite well. You seem to be gaining a bit of momentum, and then this happened. Your thoughts on what was it like sitting in the car and then realizing that something like this is actually happening?
Well, yeah, there was such everything happened in such a short period of time. You know, we had 2 laps to go as we crossed the line as the race went green. I got the energy reduction call over the radio after turn 1, so I'd already done or used up a lot of energy on that main straight, which relative to what we expected at that point in time was fine. But then, yeah, a third of the way around the second to last lap, or half of the way around, I said to the team, I was like, hang on a sec, my car's telling me I've only got 0.7 kilowatt hours per lap available, where a normal lap was like 1.5, 1.6 kilowatt hours. Then it took a bit of time for them to be doing their calculations to come back to me. You know, all the time I'm just trying to stay in the race with the people around me, because I had been told earlier in the race that energy wise I'm similar to those cars around me. And so whilst everyone else was going at a certain speed, I thought, well, I'll just stick with them at the moment, you know. And so it seemed like lots of us just sort of pulled each other into a black hole of energy deficit. And then, yeah, I crossed the line for the last lap, and my car was like, nope, you've definitely run out of energy. And it was very disappointing, to be honest, because we'd come through to 3rd position, having started 11th, and it was a brilliant race. And so to see all of that effectively, yeah, go up in smoke and come to nothing at the end for a horrible misunderstanding was a big shame. But nevertheless, the positives were that we got ourselves into that position on merit, and yeah, hopefully we can recreate it again sometime.
No, definitely. And one for Alex Lynn, this one. You got hit by Norman Nato, of course, midway through the race in the first one. And I want to know what your thoughts and feelings were at that time. I'm sure it must be one of composure, because your recovery drive after that was quite superb in the end.
I can promise it wasn't a lot of composure for probably half a lap. But then at a certain moment, you know, I think genuinely from my side and my side of the garage, there was a big feeling of today has to be the day that we get it done. And I built up a decent energy advantage of the people around me. So definitely, yeah, there was no choice in my mind but to fight back and come through the field and claim the podium. But at the same time, I think, like we said at the start, there was potential for more. But right now, sometimes the fight back was more important to show myself, everyone in the team, that, you know, we as Mahindra have a car that's capable of doing something special. And yeah, that's what we wanted to do.
Interesting. So talking about the future of the sport, Mahindra is of course staying committed to Formula E in the long run, but a lot of the big manufacturers have started to turn their backs away. So is there any sense of worry, of fear in the paddock with respect to the future shape of Formula E?
I think from my side, like any motor racing category, you have big manufacturers coming and going. You know, the other day, BMW and Audi left, and the next 2 other big manufacturers will come. It's the ebb and flow of professional motor racing. So from my side, no, I don't think there's any worry. If anything, I think Formula E is going from strength to strength still. It's just different teams, marketing strategies and product strategies that at the moment they want to do something different.
Interesting. And also talking about the new normal that we have in these times. So both of you have been probably in a bio bubble for several months, and that's what all the sporting leagues and sports athletes are having to do around the world. So what's it firsthand being in a bio bubble, and can the strict regulations be a bit frustrating and tiresome?
To be fair, as you say, it's become fairly normal, I think, for all of us. We are very used to all the PCR testing with the swabs taken in our mouth and nose, and do them multiple times during an event. And yeah, it's funny actually, the lack of social situations, I think, is a bit of a difficult thing for everyone, because it's something that you can't necessarily put your finger on in terms of quantifying it, but it's just a general lack of sociable interactions that starts to become a bit of a shame that you missed. But beyond that, we're able to get on and do our jobs. We're very lucky that we're in a sport that's able to manage it so well. So full credit to Formula E for what they're doing with that. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we can travel and go racing and do what we love doing. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's too difficult. But certainly we've had to manage and adjust along the way.
What about you, Alex Lynn? How do you feel being in a bubble?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I mean, obviously it's changed a lot, but and yeah, we're like everyone in the world. We'd all wish it was different. But to echo Simsy, we're lucky. We still get to compete. Formula E's handled it fantastically. We're still here in Monaco, which I think personally is amazing that we've been able to come to the cities we have. So given everything, I think we've done, Formula E have done an amazing job. But yeah, like everyone in the world, we wished it was different and we could have fans and be more interactive and be sitting face to face with you guys instead of through a computer screen. I guess like anything in life, like we all feel the same.
Exactly. Guys, finally, before we wrap up, a very fun thing happened recently with both of you called the Mahindra Racing Switch, where you guys actually had to dance and try and see how that world works out. Have you added a few moves finally to your arsenal so that you can burst them out if we get a podium, hopefully this time out in Monaco as well?
Well, I showed that already in Rome, so I think I've
exactly.
I've held my part of the deal. I think I didn't see Alex. Did you do some moves in Valencia?
No, I missed it actually.
Well, you'll just have to get another podium then and show us.
I'm saving it for a Friday or Saturday night in London or something.
Okay,
That's what I'm saving it for.
But all joking aside, that was a really good fun piece of filming that we did. I never quite thought that I'd be swapping roles with a professional dancer and learning all that I did, and it was great fun to do that. And the ladies seemed to have a fantastic time as well as anybody would driving a race car. So it was really good fun. Really good fun.
Exactly. And the best part is you guys didn't completely seem out of place. So that was a bit fun to watch as well. But guys, thank you so much for your time. Pleasure having you on here and all the very best for the rest of the season. Hopefully we get a few more opportunities to see those dance moves in the end.
Thanks.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Cheers.
Yes, guys.